Certainly want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Justin Turkeyland podcast, which remains nameless.
It should be called that, the Nameless Podcast.
Maybe. Or maybe it should be called the podcast who can't keep these damn hoodlums out of here. Yeah. The most bootleg nigga rig podcast of all time.
Retarded as hell.
Well,
the podcast who can't keep these niggas out of here.
Well, if you listen to my last show, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You know, we was having a wonderful interview with a superb guest, and all these motherfucking crazy motherfuckers just come rolling in here with their input, got this and that to say, telling jokes and such. It's my show. And ain't even trying to be like that, but it's like, have some respect for the guests. This here is about getting perspective from somebody in XTV that you might not have known nothing about. Okay? It's shedding some light on the guys that's just like yourself. Because let's face it, everybody in XTV has a story. And they have a very in-depth story. I mean, we learned stuff about 80s guy and just the WWE in general that I just never knew. It's amazing to me, you know, and that just proves to me how much more we're gonna potentially learn here on this here podcast. The pilot ain't never been nothing like it. Oh, you little fat bastard! Won't you just go ahead and get to the damn show? You're keeping everybody waiting. Man, Daniel Dingo, would you please get out of here? I'm trying to conduct the show. You got your little fat ass wife sitting back there. She's running the whole damn thing. You're just sitting up there flapping your fat ass gums, you egg sucking bastard. Would you please have some respect? Everybody already thinks that you have a friend named Chad. His name Dave, okay? And he is my friend. And he ain't pretend. You pretend. Even though you real. Anywho, this guest that I have on this show, ladies and gentlemen, is this gonna be probably one of the best podcasts of all time, because I got motherfucking Diddy Kong in the building, but nowadays he goes as the Pain.
I'm the Pain.
That's the motherfucking Pain.
That's right.
Came to bring the pain. I wish I had that theme music. I'd play that shit right now. I
can't bring it. You just ain't gonna look for it.
Yeah.
Your computer keeps saying P.
Exactly. I can't type P's. Yeah.
Oh man.
Couldn't do no research on you because I can't type P's on my computer.
That's a damn shame, man. Damn shame.
But you so legendary, you so classic to XTV that I don't even need that shit, because you and I came in around kind of like the same time, I believe.
Maybe about the same time.
1995. You know, that's when I made my arrival, and then you started out with Donkey Kong Country. Is that how you started out?
I mean, prior to this, prior fame, we were doing stage shows. You know, me and Trumps.
Yeah.
But as far as XTV, that's when I got my notice. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about, you know, the stage shows and, you know, life prior to XTV. You know, what was going on with you and Trump?
Well, we were just always, you know, arguing, doing different things. And, you know, Grandpa Joe, you know what I mean? He sat down, you know, my granddaddy, he's sitting there looking at us like, y'all fools, y'all should, you know, we should make y'all a stage act. You know what I'm saying? Like, come here, Tiger. Come here. Let me put you in the guillotine choke for talking to your damn brother like that. You know? And, I mean, after a while, you know, we beat us up enough we beat up enough courage to get on stage and perform in front of people. And we didn't know what to do. You know, he just got us together and said, oh, do what y'all was doing in the living room. We was arguing, you know? We was just doing little, like, high school talent shows. We win first place here, third place there. And, you know, it's kind of like how the Jacksons got their start. Getting their ass beaten, going to competitions that they don't want to go to. And, you know, we did what we did, and Super Duper eventually noticed us.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got to doing the Donkey Kong show. And it was pretty cool at first. I think either D-Matic was on your side at one point.
Okay.
You know, and it didn't really. It was okay at first, but after a while, it started, picking up.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I noticed about the XTV West. It always take us a while to build up. You know what I'm saying, with certain things. You know, and to understand things. I heard the 80s Got a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I heard the 80s Got a podcast.
A lot of people have already. It's not even out, but, a whole lot of people have probably, stole it and
downloaded it.
Yeah.
Just hope you get a virus. But one thing 80s Got said in his podcast that caught my ears when he had said that, it took a while for the WWE to, put their shit out there because, XTV is quick to just bash something and, disregard it.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's kind of how it almost was for us at first. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of hard for us to get our just due. Like XTV was really known for the wrestling, the Flamindo. Over here it was.
Oh, yeah.
And we had came, with our thing, 3D. And I think Spot the Doggy was... Did Spot come first?
I'm not sure. I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you, like, what was... Who came first?
Man, my memory is so like that is so long ago for me. That I don't even remember who came first.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long that was
like 90.
My brain is right now. It's just like, nigga, that's old. It's fussing at me right now.
Yeah. I hear you, but
I can't
because I was going to ask who came first. Was it y'all or was it Yaki and Tails? But it was Yaki and Tails. They came
first because I remember back in '94. Like y'all used to do that Sonic show. And then,
the Sonic show was first.
I just don't know because I remember like
Spot the Doggy.
Anthony had an argument with Antonio because
Spot might have been first.
And then you had gave him that toy, and then he used it.
Spot, I think Spot did come before you.
I think Spot was first. I think that either
because you don't think that Spot came in like '93.
Hell no. Nah.
Or like that's
Darn.
I stay corrected. Shit. Well, I'm thinking about that dog.
That nigga did freak.
I could be wrong.
That's gonna be the highlight.
I could be wrong. I'm just trying to go back because, but it could have been even around the same time because Spot the Doggy was doing his thing at the same time as
that's what was unique about that, though. I'm sorry to cut you off, Justin, but that's what's unique about it to me is cause how Spot was so different from what we was doing. That's why, I know we ain't talked about it yet, but Action 1 and Action 2 in 2000, those two worlds coming together, me being on Spot the Doggy, you know what I'm saying? And it really started with me doing that SIDE thing, but we ain't there yet. But I'm not sure who came first.
Yeah.
Still thinking about it.
I feel you.
And, I just know that it took us a while to get our, just due, if you will. And, eventually we got Sean, and, I know that I got a bit too popular, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I was the skinny kid, and I did more, I was more active.
Yep.
Big Trunks, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of big, he was the insecure brother of mine. He was older, but he was only known for one specific thing. He was stupid, and he was big. So, so I just made fun of him.
That's still what he known for nowadays.
That is a shoot, brother. That is a shoot.
That's
right
my
now.
friend.
Cut that on.
That is my friend.
That is a shoot, man. That's a shoot on your damn friend. Don't that's my friend. That's your damn sad ass friend. You over here degrading that nigga. He gonna kill your ass.
Yeah,
what
he
gonna
go to hell off, but it's a good time, motherfucker.
But I don't think that's gonna do shit. It's a good time though. He try to save an ass whooping.
I ain't saving no ass whooping.
It's a good time though, right, Charles? Yeah, man. But he was just that character, and that was who I was, and so that the fans got that more, because I did more. So of course I'm gonna be more popular, And being that popular at a young age, you know what I'm saying? A lot of fans come to you, a lot of so-called friends and a lot of friends come to you, and I started later on as a kid, you know what I'm saying? This grown-up's like, man, you need this drug, you need this, and, I got into that shit early, and I just thought it made me better. It made me feel good. It made me socialize with different people and make deals that, I shouldn't have done and deals I should have done because that's a part of my legacy, a part of my life. But, yeah, man.
Man, that's something else. Now, how long was the tenure of the Donkey Kong show? Like, how long did you guys stay on the air?
Well, the Donkey Kong show, probably the first one. To be real, looking back, it really didn't stay on that long.
It didn't?
Not
like a couple years or nothing?
Nah, it stayed on there for like, we did that in 95 maybe? And then it stopped in like 97 when Donkey Kong 2 came into existence with me and Dixie. You know what I'm saying? That was a totally different thing. Trunks was kidnapped, but the thing is, it's like the Lauryn Hill situation that they was talking about earlier. I know y'all wasn't Hill fans, but they was talking about how she dropped one album, but it's so acclaimed to this day where a lot of people ain't gonna forget it, even though they saying that she kind of getting pushed aside. That album is so acclaimed and so regarded as one of the greatest that people ain't gonna forget about it. And it's the same as I should have said Gilligan's Island, because that only has 2 seasons, believe it or not, Gilligan's Island. But the legacy and what that shit did and what era that shit ushered in was so impactful where people just remember it for what it did. And that's the same thing with the Donkey Kong show. It didn't last but 2-3 years. But y'all remember it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was y'all introduction to me. That was y'all introduction to D-Matic, Grandpa Joe, and, different things like that. So, yeah, I say that lasted about a good 3 years, but the impact and legacy is remarkable.
It is remarkable. It was a whole load of laughs and barrel of fun.
Yeah.
No pun intended. How was your relationship with, we saw you on screen with Trunks. So Trunks was like the big dumb guy, and there was always like conflict between you two. Was that a shoot? Was that a work?
That was... That was a shoot.
Stung by a bee.
That was a shoot, man. Me and D-Mac, because like I said, Grandpa Joe first noticed us because we would argue as kids. And he first noticed us and he laughed at it. He thought it was funny. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we'll really be arguing. You know what I'm saying? Fat boy. And, we little kids, but it's the way we come across it. It's the way it's delivered.
It's so entertaining that, it's like, let's make a show out of this.
And that's how it got made, and that's what it was popular for.
Yeah.
For as long as it was popular. But, yeah, that was pretty much a shoot. Sometimes, people will just instigate things, and, once the drugs got introduced for me, of course it's going to be on a whole nother level. And as far as disrespect for myself, you know what I mean? Like I would say that I was the one that probably instigated most of what we was fighting about because I seen the fans and I seen what was coming my way. D-Matic didn't really see it as that. Like, he looked at it as we both brothers, we both in this together. And that's what it was supposed to be. But for me, it did change because I'm like, I could be making more money doing this. I seen it early. He just one character. He just got this one stupid image, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't no way you can really go with that. It's no way you can go with being a stupid character. You just a parody. With me, I do more. So I'm like, okay, I see that. And that's why I was just doing this, doing that. And then eventually, I became more popular than him. You know what I'm saying? And, man, that young man and having that much money and that much drugs, your ego,
Oh,
you get lost. You get lost in newfound fame, new addictions, and, different things like that. I'm a young kid. You got to keep that in mind. Giving all this money, giving all this attention.
Around how old would you say?
How old was I?
Just
I
roughly.
I was about, this is XTV years.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm like 50 or something now, however Soup want me to be.
Exactly.
But I was like about 6.
It sounds crazy.
I was 6 in 95 and I'm 50 something now. Fuck y'all.
You do the math. Yeah, that's. But I get it though, and I'm probably the only one that's gonna get it. But anyways, it makes sense because that's how XTV was in its primitive years. And I was gonna say Trunk's Pain. Are you one of like Soup's first original guys? I mean, we like I was talking to AVW.
You know what? It's hard to.
I know Flamingo was there.
Yeah,
I remember.
No, Flamingo is the first ever XTV.
Yeah, he the first guy.
When he did that, that's why when he did 90%. That's why when he did that shit, it was so crazy because
he the first guy.
Yeah, the first guy. For him to have one of the biggest shows that influenced so much for us on the West Coast.
And today, like he up
right, like his legacy would have been dead. Like when we did that Raw, and then he was like a 0 or something on there. Yep. His legacy would have been over. But if that 90% didn't make his career what it due to his career what it did, that shit, like, I know, man, I'm just gonna say this, man. Like, one thing about that show is that shit inspires us to this day, and it's one thing where, like, we can give y'all a recording of 90, but y'all don't, like, y'all won't grasp it. Y'all won't understand some of the messaging that we're using. Because, like, a lot of times, XTV West is really different from the West. Like, when we really be going through things and really be going through hurt, it's like, that's what 90% represented. He represented our true hurt. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we used to just,
what a platform to be able to,
and like, I remember some of them episodes. We was listening to one the other night, man, and I just remember that shit. Like, I forgot why I was mad, but I just, like, I think Best had came on like, I don't know why we mad, we finna do 90. It came on like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it's the emotion that's just in there. It's just
you gotta love that. That's just that shit that I love about XTV and 90%. The first guy of the West Coast, right. The very first guy,
and he was just somewhat of a, like, he was somewhat of a preacher. Go ahead.
He's like the head guy in the West Coast. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean, he is like I think we said this years ago, but he is like the Michael Jackson, how people view him as far as XTV West. Yeah, it's like he is that.
And I don't know if he got that kind of praise in the East Coast, but it is that high.
Yeah,
it is on a high level. But in the East, it's just like
because he touches on our emotional, like how we feel. It's just always hard.
It's so
It's hard to express like come out and say what we be feeling sometimes because it's confusing.
So he can express it.
Yeah, and he got the feel, he got the sound, he got the voice, he got everything. And the thing with him,
he embodies that.
Before he came, the TV show era was kind of dead. You know what I'm saying? James was trying to resurrect it. I think even Fast took an attempt at trying to resurrect the TV show era. But like 90 came and it was like, whoa. And since 90%, over here on the West Coast, it ain't really been no video game shows like that. It's just been, Killer doing what he doing.
Killer Digital.
Exactly. I mean, Killer Digital, that followed it. But after Killer Digital, it's like...
Oh, but you're saying Killer as far as like how he carrying the torch.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And being innovative. And, you got to respect what they doing.
But it's still like we go back to 90%. You know what I'm saying? For the influence. You know what I'm saying? And some of that, even on Lake Skeleton, man, like, I can't even tell you, but some instances on that shit is inspired from just audio we did on 90%. That's why them shits are so long and they so full. We had to do 2 XTV takeovers of 90%. He the only person we had to do that with because his shit is just that crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you can't put it in words. It's that deep. With my boy.
So you're 90 pretty tight?
We're pretty cool. Pretty cool. We had a pretty big beef in 08. You know what I'm saying? This was around the time period where Killer, he did the Cosby Show, and y'all remember how he was then. And, we got it on tape, of course, and some shit got misinterpreted, misunderstood, thanks to ODD. That shit still get shut up. And it's just, he said something. He was trying to speak on for all the legends of XTV that we wasn't respecting the new era in XTV, and that's what he was trying to say. And, things got taken out of context and, drama, of course, ensues. And as a result, 90 had no respect for me. you know, and we had pretty big beef around that time. We made up eventually, like maybe 2010, you know, but it wasn't it was animosity, you know, around that time because things was said, and you know, but yeah, me and Nadi cool.
That's definitely.
I mean, I refereed his match back in 2000, you know, when he had that match with in SIDE. I'm the first ever cartoon to transition to SIDE. I did his match.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Powerful shit right there. You know.
He was the Sting toy with the blue pants and the yellow boots.
There you go.
Sable fucked that toy up.
That's that real shit, ladies and gentlemen. You only get it right here.
Vader was dead.
Vader was dead.
No. Vader was
He died?
Vader was the new Sting.
So wait a minute. Now, what brand is this? SIDE?
SIDE. We brought the toys back in 2000.
2000. When did that establish though?
What?
SIDE.
SIDE, that came in 96. Whenever y'all remember y'all used to do it together. So whenever y'all like broke apart like and did your own thing, maybe in like 97 now that I remember.
97?
As far as solo SIDE our version?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably started in 97.
97?
And then we had WC SIDE 97 and 96.
See, that's interesting because, you know, and you know, I talked to AVW and we was jumping all around. You know, he talked a lot about the foundation, but you know, we ain't get into that part. And I was hoping that next time we could talk about it, but we could talk about that some right here too. Right. You know, about just how, because you know, I was talking to 80s guy, and 80s guy was talking about WWE. You know, the WWE. You know, and how that was just like this whole thing. And when, as he was talking about it, I was just envisioning like it's like a whole other continent that we know nothing about.
Exactly.
You know, it's like a completely different world that we just don't. It's like Japan, you know, and we in America.
It's like a, you know what? And I want to touch on that a little bit. It's like a different galaxy. Like it's almost like it's non-existent.
It's almost, but it's reachable enough for people like yourself to, you know, be able to.
It's like Batista going, not Batista. It's like Roman Reigns, whoever popular in the wrestling. Mm-hmm. It's like him going to New Japan Pro. You ain't watching New Japan Pro. You don't really know what that is. You don't really know what this company is. And then it's like all of a sudden, it's like boom. It's like, wait a minute. Huh?
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Oh no, because I think you was trying to say something.
Well, it's just that, you know, with that being said, you know, with the WWE brand and the span that it had, it never dawned on me that, you know, within the realm of XTV, or what we call XTV, there was like different brands. There was CAW, the WWE, there was SIDE, West and East.
Well, it's different though, like with that, cause like that still is.
It's just
XTV.
like they still kind of overlap though. They overlap. Like they was existing around the same time period. Completely different brands.
But at the same time with that SIDE, CAW, it's like. It's almost like a branch off. Like even when SIDE finally ended and we did just Raw, it was just called Raw. It's like it was still SIDE though, because you still had Flamingo, you still had the same characters. It was still SIDE. You know what I'm saying? It was like everything was in the XTV realm. CAW is a branch off of SIDE, but it's just kind of like just, you know, Pain, Diddy Kong, Use More. You know what I'm saying? These people, like I couldn't wrestle in SIDE around that time. You know, as far as the WWE though,
you wasn't respected on that level to be in SIDE.
Yeah, because
you was a monkey
cartoon.
We talked about that. You know, it's like certain guys couldn't be in SIDE. Yeah, you had to be a man. You had to be a human.
Exactly, and that's how it was. And so CAW, and I think it started when we was doing those like Size of Gittins and shit. You know, when it was like, oh, Spyro versus this dude versus this dude. And that kind of really was the cartoons wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Looking back.
What do you mean, like when
Sizemen Day and shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was like our version.
Exactly. That's when it took off, like around 2000 or 1999.
Yeah, and then CAW was like, fuck that, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Flamingo, JP, Pain, Trunks. Everybody, Cowboy Jones, that was like, you know what I'm saying, everybody can fight, because like SIDE dudes wasn't on those sides tapes like Sides of Getting. Like Flamingo wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? It was just like Tails.
So what was the main
that
event?
Nigga Squirrel. But
So what was the main events in those days? Like who was headlining? Pain?
On what?
Oh, you was headlining.
What days?
In those days when we was doing Seisman Day,
yeah,
that's when you was the
it was
huge.
Me. It was Crash. Oh yeah, man. You know, and
it was.
I feel like, man, that and people said me, Tails, Romy, Spot. Well,
nah. I'm gonna talk to him.
That's about it.
Y'all was the main guys besides like Alec.
Alec, he was the major dude.
He was like big
over
guy.
all us. Like we was already popular doing our thing, but you see, Alec would just come now and then. He'll shoot a promo. Wanna be Stone Cold? I said it for Killer, but you know, and we would really appreciate it because you already know how hot we was about Stone Cold. Yeah. Not hot as a man, because I realized I said hot, and not hot as he. Not the hots for him either.
Oh my God, Alec.
You know, he was just like so major for us, and you know, I realized they need his hair move a little bit as he doing that. But I'm noticing so much about this picture. I love art.
It's worth 5 words.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, you know, we was the main eventers.
Yeah,
and you know
that first ever Sides of Mania, you guys were in that main event.
Yeah.
It was you guys and Alvin.
Man, I felt like, boy, this is finna, because Antonio wrote about this in school. You know what I'm saying?
Sides of Mania?
Yeah, he wrote
that
about
main
Hell
event
in a Cell, and then like he told his teacher.
Before or after?
Before.
Before the match?
Yeah, before the whole event, he told his teacher about
that was about to happen.
Yeah, I mean he had wrote it like they had sentences in the class, and he wrote a sentence like, Diddy Kong is gonna fight Abu at something like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's
and
incredible.
Then he's telling the class, "Oh man, we gonna have a real Hell in a Cell. Y'all gonna have a real Hell in a Cell? Can I come? Nah." You know what I mean? Little stuff like that. And,
man,
that was a big event, you know. And
oh yeah, the first ever Sides of Mania. Like I remember the hype for that.
I just remember, man, like at that time, 2000, because when we upload my shoot, y'all gonna hear me talk about that. Like that really was my biggest prime. You know what I'm saying? They was talking about the dude that on Watch Mojo on YouTube. They was talking about that dude that followed you on Twitter, Aaron Carter, and they was talking about how he was so big back in 2000. And it's like listening to how they was talking about him, like that's how I was. Like I was so big.
You was over.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, cause it was all that I was doing. It's like when the Donkey Kong show was over.
Yeah.
Trump, you know, I had my thing with Dixie, and then Didi and the Witch Doctor. You know what I'm saying? And then all these other different things I'm doing. I think I did a show with Aladdin, you know, and it was popular, and all these different things. So once 2000 come, I'm hitting all these genres. That's Disney. You know what I'm saying? Crash Bandicoot. That's the PlayStation shit. And then you got, of course, the Donkey Kong thing with Nintendo. Yeah. So now it's the year 2000. It's like I got all these fans from all these. It's like what Lil Wayne did, you know. Prior to the Carter 3 even coming out, people don't even remember. He did a song with Paul McCartney. He did a song, I think, with Madonna, and then he did a song with all these different artists and was establishing his name. Finally, when the Carter 3 come, everybody about to buy the album because he touched fans on all these different levels. So that's what it was in 2000. It was like, damn, I did all these different things, and now I'm set. No matter what I do, I can just do a recording where I burp, and it could be popular. Me and Trunks did an album called Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? And it was so terrible. But, you know, at the time, it was like the big thing. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And then we did Hell Yeah in 2000, and boy.
Yeah.
Whew, did that take? That got a whole story to it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was a movie?
No, that was the radio show we did.
Oh.
That was, you know, because the Donkey Kong 2 was real popular, but Hell Yeah set a new era for XTV West. And you see, you want me to get into how it started, man?
Go ahead.
Well, this is your fault, Justin.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well,
it all started. When you had we was doing SIDE radio, you know, and it was Trunks, and I was on there, and he was like, Trunks Deep Magic said, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first type of time we recording and talking about this. It's time for Pac-Man. It's Mrs. Pac-Man. And Justin famously said, No, it ain't. And I remember, once you said that, that really messed us up. We had wrote about that in our journal. We had journal in Broward Elementary. We ain't write about that incident, but we said, because they was asking us what we did on the weekend. He was like, well, man, me and Anthony did, me and my brother Anthony did SIDE radio, jewelries, and he wrote jewelries. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's when you was like, with the Jay-Z.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
What the fuck is jewelries? That was that episode where you had said that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And so, like we was happy that we had a voice on the radio, but we was like, damn, it'd be better if we did our own thing.
Yeah.
So maybe that Friday or that Monday, we got a pack of 60-minute tapes. We weren't thinking about how long it was, how short it was. We was just like, let me just get some tapes. And then we recorded the first HY. We said, can I hold your radio? And you let us hold your radio. And we recorded HY. And the first thing that happened was Super Duper losing his WWF Aggression CD, which he kept calling his tape because he never had a CD up to that point. He was like, and then you heard him on the recording. He was like, man, who stole my thing? First he was like, where's my thing? And then he way in the back, man, who stole my thing? And then he come back in the room, and then the WWF Aggression CD is on the speaker. He pick it up. Stupid ass thing on disappear. I wish we still had this shit.
Did it break?
I remember. Nah, he just threw it was in the case. He threw the case. Told your ass to disappear. And
oh god,
he mad as hell. He hurt himself back, and he used to rewind that part so much that when you have a cassette tape and you rewind it so much you accidentally might hit record when you're trying to hit play. Yeah. So it had that little pause.
Yeah.
And because we played that part so much because it was just funny the part where it get quiet and then Evan say, "What's up with that?" Oh man, I'm remembering this shit and yeah, it was crazy, and it's just one of those recordings. It's like the shit could have been saved if we knew about splicing tape. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have that to this day, and that's why when we found out about splicing tape, it was almost like too little, too late. You know what I'm saying? Because we done had so much recording as far as 90% shit that Killer do. We could have legendary. We could have our own XTV network at this point. We had all the recordings we ever did, and we was able to save them to this day and upload them on a computer like we can do now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So much. Oh my god.
Yeah, and that's just what I remember about that. And on that episode, Bruce Willis was on there. And we was just it was really ours, and that's what we got off to it about it. Like, is that this shit is ours? You know what I'm saying? We can do what we want, and us knowing that. Shit, our imagination went far beyond us playing Donkey Kong because you was limited on what you could do with Donkey Kong, nigga. This is a cassette tape. I can do what I want. I can move how I want. You ain't there to say, no, it ain't or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that sparked us finally being free and giving ourselves our voice and hearing our voice back on the tape, rewinding the shit over and over. And, it went from that HY where we got to do this shit every day. And that's what started Soup's tape addiction. That's why it used to be tapes everywhere, because he couldn't help it. Like, Monday I gotta record. Then at 7 o'clock, he didn't leave his room. He wasn't playing with toys no more. He put them bitches aside, and that's why it was just tapes. Because that addiction just kicked in. It's like, man, I gotta record. And we did so much recording, dog. HY was just it, and it was hot. And so when that got hot, it was like, damn, what else can Payne do? Like, it was really I could do no wrong. And then doing the SIDE shit I did, that was so popular. And when we did Action 1 and Action 2, we talk about that to date, cause that's crossing so many barriers at the time. It's like Spot the Doggy, who just a toy, and he do his own thing, and me, who just known for the Donkey Kong, now the HY shit. These two forces are about to meet. We never met before. How is this going to turn out? We did it, and the fact that shit is off the head from a 11-year-old, and I can still remember that whole story. And it didn't have no holes. I can still remember the whole story. It didn't have no 11-year-old imagination shit. Nah. everything made sense. You know, that's like probably one of the only tapes. Like part 2, I'm thinking about. Part 1, I don't really hardly remember, but part 2, I just remember like scene from scene, I was just so on point at 11. You know, that's why I wish I still had it. It had popped in like 2001. You know, and man, that shit was so entertaining. Like, I was just like, man. And I think we let y'all hear it one time, and I remember y'all laughing so hard. Like, Joe was there, and then you had came in my room one time when I was doing it, and you had said, like, it was coming on, Watch Me by Dr. Dre was the intro, and then we had you on tape. You was like, hell nah. You know, and I just remember that shit, man. And it's just one of those recordings, bro. Like, we still had that, man. How would it hold up compared to what we've done now, you know? I'm forgetting this is a shoot, man. I'm going back in time.
Well, I mean, I love those stories, and, you know, going back, that's just classic shit right there. But, going into your days in the WWE, you was in the WWE. You was a big deal. You was the man.
Towards in late 03, I came in.
That's when you came in. So you came in late. The WWE had already been established, and you came in like towards the end of it.
Yeah, because it was a lot of issues happening in CAW around this time. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a lot of people was feeling like they was treated unfairly. First, Best was actually the one to go. And later on, I went. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he went to the WWE?
Yeah, it was Best first because Best was dealing with a lot of personal issues at that time, you know. And, you know, he'll tell you the story. I mean, I'm not him, but, you know, I know he will tell you that it was a lot going on. And
so you guys knew about the WWE?
Yeah. I mean, it was already getting popular. It was already getting a name like Destruction. He was red hot still around that time. And then Brock Lesnar and him was going to fight at that Survivor Series that year. And so it was like one of those things where we like, damn, man. You know, I looked at it like I should go to the WWE because, you know, CAW was real popular, but it was just like, it was just a lot going on, man. You know, it was like, man, it was time for a change, you know. And that's how I looked at it. And it's like, not only did it change for a new path for my career, but it changed the history of XTV. Like, me and Best, the first two people to really be going from XTV to the WWE. And, you know, the fact that we were so successful now, but shit, I mean, at first we weren't really that popular. Like, anybody will tell you that. We weren't really that popular. We had to work our way up. And that's why, you know, I seen 80s guy interview, you know, it's like, that's why he was saying that, like, it's just crazy how it took us so long to really, because you had to claw, you had to work hard. You know, that's why when Bobby got introduced to the WWE, it was like based off of his athleticism. You know what I'm saying? But that's why they didn't let that many people in, though, because of that. You know, because they didn't know. They thought, okay, y'all ain't going to turn this into what y'all already doing. This is our shit. And, you know, we respected that. I know I respected it. I'm like, okay, this y'all's, but I'm still going to win every belt. And when I first came in, man, I started winning, bro. Like, that's the first thing that I started doing. You know, I started winning the small titles, though. I won the IC belt, the US belt, European. You know, I was, like, building my way up.
You had them all at the same time like Bob did, too?
Yeah. At first I did. You know what I'm saying? And Best, he had all the major titles. He had the tag belts. He teamed with NMM, you know, and he had the tag belts. He had the WWE tag belts, WCW, ECW, MLW, WWE. I still can't believe this shit. ECW and WWE, and stole the CAW title and brought it over to their shit. So he was like so red hot. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he was dealing with a lot. So for him to just go to a completely new company, he took CAW down belt, came over here, you know, and it was different for him. And I want to say this, man. We never even had a feud. To tell the truth, the fans instigated this shit. Like, that's really how it started. It's like, cause we both had similar backgrounds, similar paths, and people was just really like, they took a step back. They was like, wait a minute, look at this shit. It's like both these two just came into WWE, and both of them never came here before. They all winning our belts, and they all are real good. Like, we both had to really claw our way, and just looking at the story on how we had to leave a company we was known in then go to another company where we ain't known and ain't really getting a lot of respect, and then we got to claw our way to the top, fight, and then get respect. We both got respect around the same time, and it's like, whoa. And we both had similar paths, so they kept comparing us to each other, seeing our win-loss records. Like, when Best first lost all those titles, that night, the dude that he lost the titles to came out later on in the night and challenged me. And I won the belt. See what I'm saying? So it's little shit like that, like, whoa. You know, and the fans are already doing comparisons with us. So for that to happen, it's like, whoa. Like, we wasn't even meeting. We didn't even see eye to eye. We didn't see each other since, like, the Bugs Life days. You know what I'm saying? So it's 03 now. That's long ago.
Right.
But look how we touching each other almost. You know what I'm saying? With our records and what we doing. Right, and how. Right. And then, you know, eventually I lose the belt. And then the dude challenged Best. And this is not like something we writing. This shit is just happening.
That's just how it happened, yeah.
And it's like, whoa. And then we was looking at it because we had a championship list. It's like, damn. The WWE champion was Pain. And then it's this dude. Then it's Best. Then it's this dude. Then it's Pain. And it was like that. And it's like, we wasn't doing this shit on purpose. It's like, damn. These niggas need to fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like all this hype. And, you know, they playing it on the video games. You know, the WWE shits. And people really want us to fight, man. Man, I just stood back and let the fans build that feud up, you know. And that's really that's all it was. The fans building the feud up.
Oh, yeah. I like that, you know, because, you know, when 80s guy was talking about it, you know, I was under the impression that, you know, you guys were just longtime rivals, but really you guys just had the same stories. You guys was just real white hot coming right in and, you know, just making a name for yourself, sharing similar backgrounds, winning all the titles. So like you said, the fans instigated it and you guys just went on and just tore it down. And it became faces of the company.
Yeah, we became major faces. It's like for it to go from Destruction, who was like out.
So it was never no kind of heel babyface thing with y'all. It was two baby faces.
We was both, but see, at the same time, I had turned heel though. After a while,
did you?
It was at one of the greatest the WWE pay-per-views that is never like it ain't get aired, but Backlash 2004. Was so big. That shit was like crazy. You know what I'm saying? And in the main event, I had fought somebody, and Method Man had came. Method Man, you know, from Wu-Tang. And that was my dog, like, because I used to come out to his music, and it was just so unexpected. And that's when I turned on the fans, because I was always fighting fair, but right there I cheated. And I had, what's the dude's name? Don, the dude with the hair.
Don King.
Yeah, he was my manager. And it was like, it was classic. Like, I used to shoot them promos. Don King used to talk to me. And then he used to talk for me. And he used to just be like, yo, Pain is this, Pain is that. Y'all don't know about no man. This is the Pain, man. He better than any man. He just used to talk shit. And at the end, I'd be like, I'm the Pain. And the fans, and I was the heel, but I was still getting like, you know, the fans like, I'm the Pain. Yeah. You know, and that's what was crazy about it, because I'm getting all this love from, you know, the fans, but I'm such a hit, and it's almost like the Killer situation. You love to hate them, you know what I'm saying? Because like I'm such a bad guy, I just don't care. But it's like
you bitch,
you have to love him though, because like the way he is and the way I am,
and I tell you, Pain, I mean that's one thing that you do even to this day very well. You bring that heat out of people, you know, and you make them hate you, but they can't deny.
Look at the Trunks match.
Case in point, I mean, especially when you box, you know what I mean? Like, you really just destroy, but I can't even say especially when you box, because you in the ring, you know, I mean, you are a very, very dominant force. You know, probably one of the most dangerous guys in XTV, bar none. And, you know, I'm going to touch on some of those things. We're jumping all over the place. All of this stuff is so very interesting. You know, I love the perspective of, you know, from the WWE. And just different things that we didn't know about, like CAW and just all that kind of stuff. I guess what I want to talk about next is, I guess you in XTV. How did you end up getting in the ring to begin with?
I noticed, you know, once the pay-per-views and shit was happening, I was just like, I thought it could be a good idea. You know what I'm saying? And it was just one of those things where I wasn't afraid to try anything. And I think that's what the fans initially appreciated about me, is that I really wasn't afraid to try nothing. Like, as far as like I did the show with Aladdin. You know what I'm saying? I did the show with the Witch Doctor. Like, I wasn't afraid to try anything. So this is just, me being a wrestler. Okay, I'll try. Me being a referee for Flamingo match. It was just one of those things where, like, I'm willing to try anything, and everything I did do was a hit. And, you know, it did stand out.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was just that. But one thing I didn't know is how much fun I would have in the ring, how much fun I would have with my opponents. You know what I'm saying? And at first it was just done for fun, cartoony type shit. But when I became the Pain, that's when it was like, nah, this is on. Because I finally had a character. It's like XTV was silly prior to me being the Pain. It was like a cartoon, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, you know, it could still get like that. But it was a more serious and focused person. That's once
you came out with the gloves? And,
yeah. Once I became the Pain. But even...
Or prior to that?
I mean, kind of, because, like, in CAW...
You were doing the DD316.
Excuse me.
Was you badass then? But was you a badass, or that was just like a gimmick?
I was just playing, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, think about it. Like, those matches ain't really remember for me, like, going out there kicking some ass. It was just me going out there being a kid, being his favorite character, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the Pain, it was more real, because, like, nah, this is who I am. I'll whoop your ass, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I trained, and I was studying the tapes of the greats. Muhammad Ali. Oh, no, I got to say it different because I'm old. Muhammad Ali, you know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, and different things like that. And, you know, me studying all of them, I kind of engulfed what they were and brought it to the WWE. You know what I'm saying? Later XTV, of course. Because I became the Pain in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, people...
So you went over there as the Pain? You didn't go over there as Didi? You went over there
I was at first, but, like, seeing how... Like, looking at the work rate of 80s guy and all these different people, looking at the history of the company. And that's one thing Bob probably didn't do, though. Looking back, like, he probably didn't really know the history of the company and the prestige. You know, he was just very XTV. Yeah. It's like, I went in there, and once I knew the prestige and what you had to do to be considered a legend, it was like, oh, okay, this little kiddie shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because when my first match, man, that shit was brutal. I think they put me in a match. They was like, we got to put him in a match with somebody that's going to match his style. You know, think about this shit. I'm Pain in 03. I got popularity. I'm loved. But I come to this new company. They put me in the first match with Norman Smiley. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the top guys here. But over here, it's like, fight Norman Smiley.
Well, Norman Smiley is known as, he right now what he do is train. You know, train guys.
And he good. I'm just saying, they just put me in a match with just not even a mid card. You know what I'm saying? The first match.
In your first match?
Yeah.
Well, you got to pay your dues.
No, I'm just saying, though, like, for me to be known in XTV for what I'm known as, it's just proof that once you go to WWE, they don't really take you serious. They don't care what you did with Bobby.
It's so much about, you know, like...
What the hell going on with my chest? I'm good, though.
You want to get some water?
I keep doing that. I don't know what the hell going on, but...
We can stop.
Nah, we're good. Let's keep going.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, over in the WWE, it was more about, you know, just the classiness and the classic wrestling.
You know, I want to take that back from you, though. Like, classiness as far as that, nah, not so much. It's just...
I mean, it's
just a level of respect, you feel me?
But, yeah, and way more than XTV. XTV is so raw and dirty.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, you know, in comparison, you know, y'all, you know, it was more of a structure over there.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
And that's one thing I got to say about you, Justin, is you actually respected that, because they told you to come over there and commentate. You might have cussed like a few times, you know, and it's just like, going back to what 80 said, even the Killer in 09 had a respect for it. The Killer, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about all the shit this dude has done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for him to have that respect, and for Bobby not to, that's why, you know, I really do want you to do a show with him. Because I do just, like, we just want to understand the mentality around that time. Because that's never happened before or since then. And it's just like, what was going on? Because I remember he used to just, like, snap. And I don't know if he was like, I really don't know. I can't even say it. I was going to say, oh, maybe he's doing the Owen Hart shit. But, nah, because not even Owen Hart would just spaz out like he was doing. You know, it was just like... That shit was weird.
What do you say? This was in 08?
It was 09. It was 09 when he was like popular. You know what I'm saying? And he just used to. I remember he used to just like trip for no fucking reason. We used to be like, Bobby, what the hell going on? You know what I mean? He'll be cool one minute, and he'll just put somebody in an ankle lock, and it's like, okay, you been a heel, but it don't make no sense.
And I don't even remember Bobby being heel, because I remember...
No, he kept saying that. I remember the WWE. He was like, I'm a fucking heel, that's why. I'm a heel.
Oh, in the WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was a heel in the WWE?
Yeah, because he had said, because I want to be a... That's what he kept saying. I want to be a heel here and be a face in XTV, but he wasn't even a face in XTV. He was just...
He wasn't?
Nah, he kind of played himself. Like, because it's just...
It kind of spilled over.
Because it was stupid. It's like... Maybe, because again, man, it's like, you know, the WWE for having the class it has and having the respect it has. And, like, for you to come over there and shit on they shit, it's like, you fighting Killer, one of they feuds. You fighting him because he peed on the title. That's disgraceful. You an athlete with respect and dignity. You don't respect the fact that he got the title that's prestigious and did that shit. So you going to kick his ass for that. Am I right? Okay. So you beat him up for that. We respect you for that. Then you come to WWE, grab their titles, and disrespect their company like that. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. So that's why people, because it was stupid. And then sometimes he'll go off like when 80s guy came out there, like, Bobby, you okay? What the fuck are you doing out here? 80s is like, what the hell? Why are you doing this? Like, I'm doing this for XTV. XTV don't respect you just disrespecting somebody with no weight behind it or for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have a reason. There got to be a point. Now, William Williams, that Trunks fault, yeah, give him all the disrespect. But the WWE, we just wrestle, you know what I mean? We respect you enough to let you in our home. And you wreck it up. And, you know, I'm pretty sure Bob probably going to say this now that I said that last thing. He going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, it seemed like everybody double teaming me, you know what I'm saying? The XTV all together attacking me. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. It's really us trying to understand the mentality of you around that time.
You know, Bob,
you know, because that shit is weird. I mean, and yeah, he's still weird, but he do it with a level of like hilarity to it.
No, I was just gonna say that, you know, Bob is a very, very, very respected guy. You know, and people take his opinion, they take his point, they take his word serious. You know, and maybe Bob don't really understand like the level of
respect.
Exactly. That,
he has,
yeah,
so.
I don't think he know that. You know, I really don't think he know, because I don't think he'll be the way he is if that was embedded in him.
Yeah, he got to understand. You got to understand that, Bobby. Like, if you out there,
people really respect you, Bob.
Yeah, you got to understand that we really respect you. So when you do something to disrespect yourself
you on a high
or disrespect your fans, that shit makes you not. Like, that shit makes us lose respect for you. Yeah. And I don't. And sometimes you say you don't care who you do it for. Well, then why are you doing it then? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what does it do for you? If you're not doing it for us, and you're doing it for you, what is that saying about you? What do you like? What is that? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. Like when you do little shit like that, even being behind bars, at least it's funny, but nothing is worse than how you was that period. You know what I'm saying? I remember that period. It was like
was that the same time period where he got in a fight with Best? Did he used to fight Best around that time?
Oh yeah, he used to always fight.
Oh, was it before then? Because that time when Best had slapped him on the stomach.
No, that was 05.
I thought it was like 06.
And that was 05. Oh. But we was it was partially that, at least partially was Best's fault though, because Best kept on like ending the match as soon as Bobby was about to beat him, being a sore loser. See what I'm saying though? But that makes sense. It's like, yeah, man. Like, and then he hits you on the stomach just because you was talking shit, because you said you knew he was gonna quit. You know what I'm saying? So Best got mad, got in his feelings, and slapped him in the stomach. And of course, he deserved to get his ass kicked.
They broke the bed.
Nah, that was 07.
He had slapped his stomach, and then they
that was
next to each other. And they
you think about two different incidents. That was
07
07 was Killer and Bobby actually. That was Killer and Bobby.
They broke the bed.
Yeah.
Damn, it got that heated between them two.
Boy, it probably was.
Trunks, you supposed to be watching the door.
Sorry. Stay on there. I got interested. It probably was.
You can't keep him away.
It probably was 07. Oh, it's Trunks. I'm so sorry. Well, it probably was. I'm
so used to talking to him. I'm just sitting up here talking back like, yeah, you know.
Oh over there shooting the shit during my shoot.
I apologize for that.
But yeah, man, you know. Where was we?
Hold on, let me see where we at here. Oh, we well into this.
What time?
54.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, I mean.
Want to go back to WWE or what?
No. What was it, man? I got so much to talk about with you. I mean, we ain't. I'm bringing you back too. I'm bringing everybody back.
Damn.
Cause it's so much ground to cover. You know what I mean? But we're gonna definitely discuss more. I want to definitely get into you know your boxing career and some of your classic feuds and your time period NXTV in between the time of 2005 when you came in as the Pain and you was really kicking ass on Day of Reckoning and up to the end. But before we get into that, it was a time period in NXTV where Pain, you fell off.
You know, I will be first to admit that. I talked about this in my shoot too, but I felt like listening back to it, we done heard it so many times. Like they said, we can say that shit line for line. We done played that so much. We played that out literally. But you see, you gotta understand. I came in XTV as a kid on drugs. They gave me drugs. You know what I'm saying? So now here I am, a grown man, 05. I got the world in my hand, and I'm happy about it. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like happiness ain't nothing when you don't really have nothing around you. You got a big screen TV, you got this, you got that. But when those friends are gone, and when everything is gone, and it's midnight, you sitting in your room by yourself. Only person that's up is a drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? You tend to do things, you know, and you tend to get into things that you know is bad for you. And, you know, that's what it was. And I started to change the color of my boxes and different things like that. And I started to just really listen to people's opinions.
But was you still kicking ass and taking names?
I was still kicking ass, but it started to affect that. It started to affect me, you know, when I was fighting and stuff. Because I remember it started with me changing the colors of my pants. And Bobby was like, he looks stupid or whatever. And, you know, that's when, again, Bobby was like the voice. We listened to him. We took heed to what he said, you know. And maybe when we got 06 is when it started to really, really show.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like kicking ass like I was, because everybody that transitioned to 06 from Day of Reckoning didn't really transition well, if y'all remember.
Not necessarily.
You know what I'm saying? And some people, it took them a while to come into that whole shit, but you know, I would come back and leave. Yeah. And sometimes I'd come back. We got a match with me, Alec, and Dean. And a 3-way dance, and that shit is classic.
I heard about this match, and I want to see it.
Oh my God, y'all gotta see it. It's like I was watching it the other day. We only got in the middle of the match and shit. I think Alec hit somebody, Charles Dean, with a chair, and he won the match. It's just weird, cause like,
who won?
Alec. That shit is strange looking at it. He stunned the shit out of Dean or me.
Alec was the champion around that time.
Yeah. That was the Sons of Mania that tape actually.
That was Sons of Mania?
Yeah, that was Sons of Mania. That was the one where you kept on going, celebrate. That was that one from 07.
Yeah.
That
must be 5.
We can't hear that. We can't hear that. No, 5 is that was 6. 5 is 2005 when a bunch of shit just happened and Grandma interrupted the show. That's really all that's known. Because we found a whole bunch of Sons of Manias in the room.
Wow.
But see, the lights out. We ain't got no lamp, so we can't like put them on a computer. You know what I'm saying? That shit fucked me up. That's why I said when it rained today, that shit fucked everything up. You know what I'm saying? We was supposed to really be doing a whole lot today. Friday was the day we was gonna try to clean the whole room, get everything together. You know what I'm saying? Then once it rained, it was like that fucked up everything. It's like, damn. You know? I sound like Sandra.
Anyway. Your voice came from Sandra.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm derived from Sandra Law. So I gotta be one of the first, cause I came from Sandra.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I couldn't, you know, when I was talking to AVW, I couldn't remember, you know, who came after Flamindo. He was talking about Flamindo.
No, I don't know.
Because I was wondering, like, was Flamingo hanging around, like, just the only guy?
It was him. It was just him at first. Yeah.
Damn.
And then he didn't get an image till we seen Smokey and Friday.
But he was still Flamingo.
Smokey
he was
That's when Flamingo finally was somebody. Like, we knew what to identify him. Oh, he's Smokey from Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know how
I
we
was
keep
scared of the hood at that time, man. I remember I was scared of the hood because I just thought that, you know, I watched Boys in the Hood and shit, New Jack City, so I thought that I couldn't go outside. I'd get shot. You know what I'm saying? But once Friday came, it was like, oh, the hood ain't so bad. What you was gonna say?
I don't know.
Sorry.
It's alright. You know, it's always a good time, man.
No, I want to get back to my fall off. You wanted to, but yeah, when I fell off, man, I just lost it, man. I would gain control and lose it, you know, so quickly. And I remember I came back as the maintenance man in like 2008. You know what I'm saying? And that was a pretty good character. Y'all probably don't even remember, but that was funny as hell. I was like paying the maintenance man now. You know,
and it was just like for a little while though.
Yeah, and then you know that's when we had started. Me and Dixie did the show Crack Rock, and to me, that is the definitive moment. You know how some things just capture the moment something fall off. It's like Crack Rock, even though you know it got a pretty decent legacy. That's where you can see me falling off. Cause over here on XTV West, the shit was funny. Like looking at me on crack and shit, like the shit that I would say and the things I would come up with, it was witty, it was funny, you know what I'm saying, to see. But up to that point, it got old and it got to the point where like this shit ain't even funny no more. It's like this is a dude crying for help. But anyway, you know, so it just you could just see it, and you know, episode after episode, people got tired of my damn voice, and you know, I went to rehab after all these different difficult things that happened, and I had that match with Catman at that Size of Mania, and I think that's when I left for a little while. I left for a long ass time, you know what I'm saying, and that's when everybody just kind of threw me away. They was like, Pain is irrelevant. Pain ain't here no more.
Yeah.
Pain is gone. Like I was like not even.
Was you a part of the Raw and the Raw is War series?
You mean yeah, I was part of the WWE, but at the end of the day, like I was at WWE forever, but I wasn't there like that.
No, I'm talking about when we had Raw on Xbox. Was you on that?
Yeah. Of course I was.
And you was doing your thing on that? You was kicking ass or you wasn't a big name?
I was on that.
Cause I remember they had ratings and shit, and I was wondering what your rating was. Like if you was a high, cause I think you might have been a low number. You was like a 9, wasn't you?
But you see,
like that, like that's when like you was like at an all time low.
Yeah, but you see that's the thing though. Like
that was that time period. Like guys who was like so hot. You know what I'm saying? At one time, like Baby, Flamingo, yourself. You know, like y'all guys. You know, y'all was at all time low.
Like going back to 03 again. It's like. So yeah, see, my star was starting to fall. It's like when we went to U Street. You know what I'm saying? The whole grandma era, like that first time period when we went over there, it was like, no homo, I said we went over there, but when we had came back in 03, it was like XTV is back, but again, the oldness starts to show. It started to show like, you know, y'all ain't doing nothing new. We was still doing HY and shit, but like after 3 years, HY is the same fucking show. It's the same premise. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good premise, but it just got old, and a lot of stuff got old, and people was just hanging on to what they've been doing, what they used to doing. And with that happening, the fans start to see that. The fans ain't stupid, you know what I'm saying? The fans get tired, and as a result, XTV as a whole, it wasn't at that point that it later on got up to. It was like a desert almost.
This is like 04?
This is like, actually for us, it was 03. You know what I'm saying? James came with Vice City, and that was so hot. But it was like that wasn't enough to hold it, because then somebody stole Vice City, Lil Wesley Badass, and whatever Tiger, whatever his the little boy
T.Y.
name. Yeah, him. My game back.
The boy in jail somewhere.
Probably. Probably in jail for stealing somebody else's Vice City.
Maybe not Vice City, but he was probably doing what they was doing on Vice City.
Yeah, and you know, when that went away, it was like XTV didn't have no identity. You know what I'm saying? And the people hanging on to their old characters eventually got washed away. And then when I became the Pain, it was like, okay, you know, that's it, and that worked. And I came back, and then fell off again, like I said, with the drugs and, you know, making the dumb decisions I decided to make. And, you know, it took a while, but, like, what I was trying to get to is how whitewashed I was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whitewash ain't even the right term. That's when a white person take over something black. Whitewash is not the proper term. I just used. I got washed away from XTV. Have you seen them? Anyway.
I've been there before.
And, you know, I just thought I was never going to come back. And then 2012, man, Trunk said he wanted to fight me because we was having arguments. This is the last days of F&K, you know, and we was just arguing, and then we fought, and I kicked his ass, and I came back. And I ain't leaving, man. But what you was going to ask?
Well,
I jumped way too far ahead.
No, that's all right. You know, Pain, we gonna meet again because we got. And next time I'm gonna write some notes so I can know everything that I want to talk about. But before we go, I just want to ask you if you have a favorite match or a favorite opponent. No, what's your favorite match and what's your favorite opponent that you was in?
My favorite match is probably Bobby Classic.
Which match with Bobby?
Man, we done had so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could say every match on there, Reckoning though.
Y'all had like a hell of a rivalry, right?
We did, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta say that, you know, like Trunks was just training. But anyway, Bobby, he showed on me. You know, he just like I fought him around the time where people was kind of starting to respect him. He was bubbling, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, you know, I fought him at that time period. And even at that time, I knew, like, damn, this is an athlete. Yeah. And, you know, we just tested each other. And it's almost like we knew each other's weaknesses and knew each other's strength. It was like Tajiri and Super Crazy. Yeah. You know, that's how it was.
So those were some of the best matches. And, you know, anytime I saw that it was going to be Bobby and Pain, I knew it was going to be in for some motherfucking...
I don't even know who my favorite opponent is, though, you know. I know who the fans will say my favorite opponent is, but, you know, I really want to touch on a few with Best, but...
Go ahead. I want to hear about that.
You want me to talk about that?
Yeah, I want to hear about that, because 80s guy was...
I'm trying to think of my favorite opponent, though, man. I'm trying to really think about this. That's hard, man. You know what? I'll say it's Charles Dean. I will say that.
That's your favorite?
Yeah, out of everybody. Wow. Charles Dean. Excuse me. We fought on a lot of TXG TVs and all that shit. And that's another dude. Every time we did fight, it was always a clash. We got a match with me, him, and Alec. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but...
That's a hell of a rivalry, you know, in itself. Charles Dean and Pain. Headline match. Hold on, let me see what this time is. Hold on. We had 108. That's all right. We keep Martha, keep it going. Listen, I want to keep this thing going because I got a couple of things that I want to ask you about. I want to talk to you about your feud with Best, you know, in the WWE, and I also want to get your thoughts on XTV Mania.
Okay.
Versus the Killer. But first, tell us about what's going on with the Best and the whole situation. I mean, break it down for us.
Which one?
And the WWE.
Well, okay, I stopped that Backlash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, again, it's just one of those things where people really want us to meet one-on-one. So in 2004, they just like we had to stop doing it. Again, we got tired, dog. Like we was finally moved into a new house, and I think Soup was going to King High School around that time, and enjoying his damn life, man. His boy Brandon was there. He was, you know, man.
At King?
Hell yeah, 05. Wow. Shit, or 04, 05 type shit, you know. It was real fun. So the WWE kind of left, but just like, you know, when it came back, you know, for XTV, it's like the fans wanted it back, and then we did Armageddon. You know, and it was a 4-way dance, and I got the paper in there somewhere. We was looking at it when we was moving. That's why Trunks was tatting so much. Because it was Rhino, it was me, it was Best, and it was Ric Flair, I believe, in a 4-way dance for the belt. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, the match started off. It was a 4-way dance. Me and Best got in each other's face, and it was like the fans getting hyped because, oh, shit, man, they finally finna fight. And then we didn't even get to touch each other that match because Rhino and Ric Flair, they come and they fighting us and beating us up and shit. And I think Best wound up winning that match. You know what I'm saying? But we wind up not really touching each other because it's a 4-way dance. Those are the two guys there.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? It was like every time we about to touch, the fans like, ah.
That's incredible.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Great storytelling.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why it's like every time it's like, and because we, at this point, the WWE, they know the fans want this shit. Yeah. They know they want it. They like, oh snap, it's about to happen. Nah, we ain't gonna give it to you.
Not even.
You know what I'm saying? And they like, because the, like, 80s guy said, it's always a roller coaster with the WWE. It's like, are they gonna fight? Aren't they gonna fight? When they fight, what's gonna happen? And you know, it's all this build up. So Crush must come, shit. And then finally, I think Vince announced it, WrestleMania 31, The Pain versus Best, 1-on-1, you know what I'm saying? And that shit was like so hyped. But on top of that, they had the TLC match with Harlem Heat, the Hardy Boys, I think the Dudleys, and a bunch of people.
Damn.
And then NMM fought Kurt Angle in a 1-on-1 match just before the WrestleMania 21 too. This pay-per-view was so crazy and so it delivered on so many levels, especially Kurt Angle and NMM. That match didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? And for that to be like, you know, because they was doing Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, so we doing NMM and Kurt Angle. We did hours before, and that match stole the show. Yeah. And so it's like, damn. And I want to, Kurt Angle match gonna compete with this. Man, I love that match with Kurt Angle and Michaels, but shit, that don't compete with the NMM match. Mm-hmm. That match was like a brawl. It was like technical. It was high flying. It was everything, you know. And then that TLC match, damn. He did the Houston leg drop off the ladder, threw the table onto the outside of the ring. But all these big things happening, and it's all leading up to the main event. The fans hyped. I'm hyped. And it sucked.
What?
Horrible.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Best will tell you the same thing. All that hype. You know what I'm saying? The fans built this match. We didn't do this match. They did it. It was horrible. It was like fans was hyped, and then I think I threw the first punch, and it was just bad, man. It was just like, damn, I ain't feeling this shit. And then eventually, I think the Best won. You know what I'm saying? He got cheered for, but it was just such a lackluster match that it was like, wow, we did all this hype for this shit.
Yeah.
3 years for this match.
Damn.
It happened. And it was terrible. I mean, like I said, we only do it like this, but if we have footage, you'll see, like, wow, that shit sucked. Like, for all this to happen, all the build-up, Kurt Angle and NMM, the TLC match, now side turn, and it was like, it was shit, man. And we was like, man, why the hell did we even think to do that shit? It was so bad that we had to do a rematch on SmackDown, and it was better, but still, it didn't have the hype.
Exactly.
That SmackDown match should have happened at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's too late.
Thank you. And that's just what I remember about it. It's like never, not even in XTV, has there been a feud where two dudes don't even touch each other, but it got all this hype behind it. Finally, they had a big-ass platform, WrestleMania, and the match was bad. Like, the fans didn't boo, but they was let down. It was like some sadness in the air. And I think I probably told you about it, like, the next day. And, like, he was just like, because you didn't know about it. You didn't know about the whole feud and shit. But it was just right. Like, man, damn. You know, because I was looking forward to it. I'm like, here it go, here it go. And then that shit happened. I'm like, man. Yeah. And, you know, that's why when we did come back, I had wound up getting in the feud with Mike Tyson. And it was good. It was cool. But, that shit, It was ass.
Universe's best.
Yes.
And was that the only, so that was the only 2 times?
Yep. And then we fought in XTV, of course. You know what I'm saying? We had some pretty great matches. You know what I'm saying? We had like Iron Man matches here in XTV, and those was great on Day of Reckoning and shit. Mm-hmm. You know, so for XTV, our matches was like always on point.
Yeah.
But for the WWE, you know, because that's when we started meeting on the Day of Reckoning and shit. You know, but the WWE, all that hype, we finally meet. The match was ass. It was horrible. Man.
I definitely did not expect to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, he just got definitely gave you guys high praise, and he talked about how, you know, if there was a
even 80s guy, like, you know, I know we can't bring him in here or nothing, but like even he'll tell you that it's like even the wrestlers backstage, they watching this shit, they can't wait. You know what I mean? It's like, man, and it was boring. It was like, you know what it was though? Our styles was way too different. I'm a boxer. He a hot flyer. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like flying and me trying to punch him. It's like, it's different. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, that's how that shit, and that's how the feud ended. It's like that's the perfect example of a feud that start and then get in the middle is real good, and it's like it got 2 middles, and them bitches is both good, and then once it get to the end, for it to end like that, the match that the fans made, man, that's what I remember about that.
You know, that's so interesting, and you know, I was listening to somebody's podcast. And I can't even remember who podcast it was or who was being interviewed. All I remember was the content, and they were saying that I think it was Raven. He was talking about
Raven
it.
Got a podcast?
No. He was a guest on Jericho's show, okay. And he was just talking about how you never let the fans book a match. You never let the fans dictate the direction of who should be wrestling, because it's out of your control now. You see what I'm saying?
And that's probably what it was with that, because it was like, again, the fans made that. They hyped it up because we had similar backgrounds, similar stories. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got similar backgrounds, similar stories, what does that say about the match? You know, we work both good, but that's the thing. We work both good in the ring. You see the way Best work, you see the way I work, and you just wonder how those styles gonna blend. You know what I mean? And they didn't blend well in that match at all. Like it was. Man, it was just this bad taste in people's mouth. I remember it was WrestleMania 31, and like I said, we told you about it the next day. I think I even told Brandon about that shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, damn.
So Brandon knew about HTV?
He had his own wrestling too.
He had his guys?
Nick had Nicholas. He had WCE.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. But yeah, he had his guys. You know what I'm saying? WCE. Nicholas. Damn crazy ass wrestler. Hulk Hogan shot Vince McMahon. What the fuck? I don't know who did it, but it's obvious it's Hulk Hogan. So, like, what? Your wrestling suck. I wound up talking about random wrestling. Man, what's happening on your shit, man? What's happening on your side?
Wow.
Yeah, we told Brandon about that shit, man. It was so bad. It was bad.
I can't believe it.
You know. What you had a second question?
I was gonna talk about what hasn't happened just yet, and it's a matchup between you and the Killer, and it's set for XTV Mania. Have you and Killer ever crossed paths?
Numerous times. Again, like back to, you know, when me and 90 got into our little feud. You know, it was based off of Killer. Like Killer. He started shit on purpose, and he started shit by accident. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was, you know, and that's how sometimes he still is a lot of times. He caused a lot of, he made for controversy. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we just never seen eye to eye. I'm from the old school, you know what I mean? And I just got my old school way of doing things, and he got his very new, unorthodox, out of nowhere way of doing things. And those two things don't mesh well. Because you got one person, he focused on the real way it's supposed to be, the way I was taught, the way it's been since I decided to do what I'm doing. Now I'm carrying on tradition. Then you got a new dude who like, nah, I just want to make this shit accessible for everybody. So it ain't just stuck just for this particular crowd, because if it's just staying there, it's just gonna stay there. So let me do this, and let everybody see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's two different mindsets. Nobody's right or wrong. They both got their own way of seeing the way it's supposed to be, and then when they talk to each other, it's argumentative because he fixated on, look, it's this way, and he fixated on, man, fuck that shit, it's all over the place, be free. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got into it, you know, the old school, new school mindset. And let me just say that this match is probably going to be the best match of my career. I mean, I hope I don't speak too soon. You know, it's just that I got somebody that I can get in there with. You know what I mean? Again, Trunks was a punching bag. You know what I mean? You know, he won that one time, but he was a punching bag. It was easy. Okay? We going to fight on Fight Night Round 2, which is the game Soup hate playing. You know what I'm saying? That's the game where Trunks got his ass beat bad as hell.
Okay.
And so Killer gonna be on there. I'm gonna be on there.
And this is Killer's way of proving that, you know, that he can beat you. And on the same platform that Trunks couldn't get the job done. Killer's supposed to be, you know, the guy, and we've seen Killer completely destroy guys, completely humiliate and degrade people, championships, no matter what. Now, this is not the Killer from, say, 07, 08. I'm sorry, it's not. And I'm not just saying it because you're here, but I got my money on you, Payne. When it comes to putting the gloves on, I just don't see Killer coming out victorious in your domain.
He can't. You got to understand this, okay? I remember we got the TXG Mania 09. He was talking about, man, I'm Killer, man. I'm the best in basketball, this, that. And then Romy had came in here and said, okay, what happened in your boxing match? And then Killer got mad and punched him. It's like, exactly. What happened in your boxing match? What happened in the domain that I remain in? You know what I'm saying? When you come into my world, you ain't going to succeed because it's my world, you know? Go ahead, play basketball. I can't do that. Wrestle. Do whatever you want to do. I can wrestle. I can, you know, toggle with you. But at the end of the day, I am a boxer. You know what I'm saying? I told you I studied Ali. I studied I studied Muhammad. I studied Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So, I am this. You know, you just visiting, and thank you for visiting, but you ain't welcome here. And I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm going to make sure you never come in there again. He fought Floyd Mayweather or somebody on that game back on that 09 recording I'm talking about. He got his ass destroyed. Because, Roy Jones Jr., like, he got destroyed by him when he was just picking up and playing it, trying to do every sport. That's when the man was trying to do jet skiing and all that other different shit. Yeah. And he got in the boxing ring, got his ass tore up. So what you think gonna happen with you and the Pain, man? It's the same old thing, you know. I am the king of this, you know what I'm saying? I'll give it to JJ Strong. He can probably get me in this, you know what I'm saying? Or we have an exhibition. No, you don't remember he knocked me the hell out on one of them damn pay-per-views.
He did?
Yeah.
He beat you?
The spring break in 09.
I remember JJ, and I'm gonna talk to JJ, you know. But listen, I remember JJ losing.
Nah, he beat my ass. Well, maybe maybe he was close to winning, and maybe I did win, but still, at the end of the day, like, that's why I say he the only dude. That's him, Bobby, even, you know, Wells. But other than that, it ain't nobody else that can do this. You know what I'm saying? This is literally an exclusive sport between those three athletes. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like ain't nobody messing with me, especially on this level. The drugs are kicked aside. I'm bigger and better than ever, and you know, Killer, I'm telling you, man. Might as well do you rave early.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Pain. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you this was gonna probably be one of the best what is called? Podcast.
What the shit called?
You know, and we just barely scratched the surface, but there it is.
I want to ask you, Justin. I mean, how you feel knowing about the feud with me and Best? Because you were surprised at that. I mean, tell me, like, from your perspective. What is that? What is that? Where is your? Yeah.
Well, just I mean, no, I was just surprised to hear that. I thought that it was gonna be like, I don't know. I just thought that you was finna tell me some crazy ass shit. I didn't expect to hear that. Yeah, it was a stinker. Who knew?
But like you said, Raven said what he said.
Exactly.
Fans should never book a match.
And given that detail, that says it all. So it was a lesson learned, but it had to happen. Who better for it to happen to? And I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's still a great story.
Yeah, like that's one thing you can leave with as far as me and Best's Feud.
You told a great story.
We brung interest back to the WWE. Like they already had their crowd, they already had their fan base, but the shit CAW had to fold because they two top stars that left had to claw their way into WWE. They clawed their way into WWE, and then it's like, damn, the fans made a match out of them. You know what I'm saying? The fans did that shit. Got to get them what they want, and we try to get them what they wanted, but the shit, man. That shit was horrible, dog. I wish I had footage, man. It was just like so slow paced, so sloppy, and just not well executed. And it's just almost like every match we did on that WrestleMania 31 is like the pay-per-view for WrestleMania 21. Every match that was good was good. Michaels, the Money in the Bank was tight. You know what I'm saying? Everything that was like kind of competing with that almost was just as good or probably even more good than the pay-per-view. And then the main events at 21, do you even remember? Like, them bitches was kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? Batista and Triple H and John Cena and JBL, them shits ain't remembered. And that's how that match is. It's one of those ones that's just, damn, the main event didn't live up to everything that was done, that whole card. Because believe me, that shit was amazing, except when it got to the biggest match on the card. It was like, it ain't worse than Lesnar and Goldberg, but damn.
Well, if it ain't worse than that, then you know what? It might not be. Yeah. It might be all right. They keep on cutting the computer off on me, ladies and gentlemen. They're telling me to go home.
I'm telling them.
So I got to leave. But
even Trunks went to WWE. I forgot to say that.
Trunks?
Yeah, he was with Just Incredible in them. He was with I think it was Team Extreme. That his character was so popular. I ain't even mention that. His character, like, he was like known, and people loved him. He was funny. You know what I'm saying? He was like, he always did funny interviews. It was him, Just Incredible, and Jason, and Dawn Marie was like their manager. And he had his thing, man. And believe me, man, them shits used to be funny, man. Because Trunks was still keeping the comedy of XTV. He still had the, how he was. He had that, and he brought it to the WWE. And WWE, they fixated on what they know. So for Trunks to bring something very XTV to them, it was something new and something fresh and very funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see, if Trunks told me that, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't, because you can't believe nothing that he say. He got all these different stories, and, some of them is just too off the wall for me.
That's how that. I'm sorry, man, but that's how this one rapper is. MC Search from that one rap group, man. I forgot his stories just be impossible, nigga. That ain't happened. He was talking about Bushwick Bill jumping out the window to fight his cousin, and it was just, man, it's too much. And then he said he brung up somebody that didn't even exist around that time. It's like, this nigga lying. He was like, it was like too long. MC Search from I can't remember his group name. But yeah, you can just type it in. MC Search tells Bushwick Bill's story or something.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, this shit lying. This shit lying.
Well, there they go. Every time I try to end the show, motherfuckers just keep on coming in here.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
But Payne, I appreciate you stopping by.
Oh, man, good to be here, man.
You're a great guest.
Glad to stop by.
I'm glad to have you. Man, interesting topics. And his name was mentioned again. But I'm coming for you. But until next time, this has been The Payne. It's been my pleasure. And I'll see y'all.